Sorry, I saw Roger's note that said, I forgot to hit record. And then I read the rest of it that says, my cloud is full. Can you record to your computer? So, sorry. Didn't mean to distract everyone.
Oh, you just want to play with the button, the pretty button.
So yeah, we do record these, and because we have a lot of people that are on the list that don't attend, and I'm not sure how many people actually listen to them. But I'm sorry that
I've had to catch a few like that from the recordings.
I'm sorry
which has been nice
too. Devotion in there, so we'll have it in the notes. We'll put a summary in the notes when we send those in.
We just had Shirley join us.
iPhone charger with me now.
I was I will tell you that I was able to attend May's funeral. Close to where not too far from where I live, and it was a beautiful funeral for May. Hi, Shirley. And she, I tell you what, she had a very big family, and they all were there, and there was a lot of, it just was a lot of love that was expressed for May, and she was very beloved by her family and really all that knew her. She was a very giving person. I guess she was always a bit, like I don't know how many grandchildren she had and great grandchildren, but she was very involved in all their lives. And, she was pretty quiet at winter camp. And I think a lot of people probably didn't really know her very well. But like I say, just a beautiful person, and she will be missed. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, she was very quiet when she was at the Blue Water League. But she was very involved with the Blue Water League.
And she was also a member of the Wyoming Lions Club, and several of the Wyoming Lions Club folks were there as well. But yeah, she had, that was a terrible accident that she had. She fell, and I think she was paralyzed, and so and in a lot of pain, and so basically her family expressed that she was in a much better place now. So. Anyway, that was just a shame, and we all have to, as Art says, we have to think about the gift of life that we have and how precious it is, and so it's important for us to love each other and love as much as you can. I think.
He was also an associate member of the Clear Lake Lions Club.
Right.
Roger.
Right. Yes.
This is Phyllis. I tried to get hold of the governor and plus Nancy Hill because I wanted to see about get a gift certificate when a Lions died, but I haven't got a respond back from either one of them. So what do I do?
I'll drop them a note.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know. I know that it's been busy with USA Canada Forum, and some of them have been traveling, but depends on when you put the request in. You sent it to Annette?
Yeah, I put it in for Annette, and then I also sent one to Nancy too because he contacted me, sent me an email and asked, told me about that the princess had to do it, which I knew, but I haven't got a respond back. But I understand that they've been busy and stuff. So.
All right, let me give it a try.
Okay, I appreciate it, Kathy.
No problem.
Okay, let's see. We had Shirley call in. Anybody else?
Oh, we have somebody else who just joined. They were a phone number a second ago. Where did they go? Maybe they hung up.
I think they left.
Was it Lily? Okay. No, Lily's still here. All right. Well, so what I was thinking of that we could do today was, so we could either, now several of you, okay, so there's a couple of things. But let's think about what our favorite activity for fall would be. Just hear from everybody that wants to share what they're looking forward to in fall, since today is the first day of fall, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Goodbye, summer. Goodbye, summer.
Boo. Bye, summer. See you next year.
Um,
This is Art. When I first saw that note about the season, I wondered if I had sent something to the wrong address because my wife is the tail twister of our Jackson Cascades Lions Club, and she put out a questionnaire to all the people. And one of the first questions on the questionnaire was, "What is your favorite season?" And I thought, did I send that to the winter camp instead of my president? So anyway, I can answer that real quickly and simply. Cider and donuts.
Oh, yeah.
The fall can't come until I've had cider and donuts. Particularly hot cider. Cup of hot cider and a cinnamon donut.
Hot cider.
I would say one of my favorite things is apples.
Yeah. I like the fall colors on the leaves. I wish we could have colorful trees year round.
Mm-mm.
I like fall for some fact is I love the color of the leaves. I love the crisp smell of the air. And I love pumpkins. Hello, pumpkin
Okay.
pie. So that, and also, you know, it's just fun because I like watching the kids all dress up and I like seeing all the kids trick or treat. I don't get to do it no more, but it's fun watching the kiddos do it.
Yes.
You could take that niece of yours around the neighborhood.
Going to. Hello.
And you'll have
free
to dress
candy. Free candy.
Now, do you carve your pumpkins or do you paint them?
Yeah. No, well, I've carved mine, but I'll probably have my niece paint hers.
Okay.
Good idea.
I saw someone today, they had a little sticker kit and they were putting faces on the pumpkin with the stickers.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
And
them
some-
are cool. I did them last year with a couple of my church kids. Them are really cool because you get these big old, like the ones that we got had the big old eyes that you could they're like stickers, you could stick them onto the pumpkin and you could make the pumpkin a witch, a Frankenstein, a ghost. Oh, it's really cool. Now you're
Who else
talking
has
about
a
it.
favorite?
Who else?
Wally,
I like
mine.
Okay,
Oh,
Walita.
sorry. Mine is fall because it's my birthday. So that's my favorite time of the year.
What day?
November the 4th. So
right.
I like to be right there. I'm right before it starts snowing. And just right after Halloween. So yeah, that's my favorite time of the year.
So Walita, are you going to have a party?
Regina.
Hi,
One
Gina.
second. Can I get the
Um,
name of who just joined? Hey, Walida, can you hold on just a second? Whose phone number ends in 1283? And just joined.
Carrie Bradley.
Hey, welcome. Okay, I think Walida had the floor and then Marion Ward is next.
Yeah, that was Gina.
I don't. Okay.
I'm finished. While Lisa was finished, Gina was talking next, I believe.
Okay, so for me, it's just the colors and the wardrobe change. So orange, like that burnt orange, green, browns. I like those colors.
Okay.
So
Okay,
you're a
Marion.
fall baby, like fall.
So Marion.
Okay, my favorite is number one, Walida, my birthday is November 14th. Okay,
All right.
I'm a Scorpion. But my favorite thing is donuts and caramel apples.
Oh, yeah.
Bring them caramel apples on.
Caramel apples.
My grandbaby bought 2 packs of those the other day, and I was looking at them. I was like, not with these dentures. Ain't gonna help. It's not gonna work.
Well, they got the plain. Well, they
You
got
gotta
the plain
slice it
caramel,
up.
and they got the caramel apples with nuts. So,
Yeah, the stuff on it, the
Yeah.
caramel apple. Oh my god. They used to
Hey.
have
Oh,
those
wait a
in the-
minute.
different flavors with cereal and almonds and all that good stuff. But I can do it
I will eat a
with
bite
the
of caramel apples for you.
peanut. Pardon me?
I'm pretty sure you will.
So generous.
What did you say?
Okay, I think Linda was going to say something. Linda started to say something. Let's go with Linda.
No. I didn't start to say anything. That was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Well, as
What's your-
long as Linda has the floor, is there something you like about
Oh,
fall?
okay. Well, what I like about fall, I like it when the sun is out bright and shiny and the leaves are that gold and red and yellow. I love that. And I love the weather in the fall. But
You
I
like
don't,
it
I'm
cool,
not
huh?
crazy about what comes after it. You can have winter, but I love the fall.
This is
Right.
Phyllis. I love the fall too. I got married in October, and all my colors were all the fall colors.
Oh, that was nice.
Mm.
This is Kashana.
Wayne, I love the fall too. Watching the colors on the tree turn and that. I don't like
Nice.
breaking leaves. I used to when I was younger, but now not so much now.
Okay,
Yeah, it
Kashani.
used to be fun when you was a kid to go out and just to put all the leaves in a pile and fall on them and have fun, throw the leaves all around. It used to be good times when we was young.
Yeah.
Can't do that no more.
Kashania, you were going to say something.
I like the fall. I like just wearing sweaters. I like going to the apple cider mill, getting the cider and the donuts and the hay rides. So that's what I like about the fall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is Roger, and I will say that I like the fall too because my birthday's in November, and it's November 3rd. So I'm
Oh, wow.
I'm one day older than you.
Roger's talking now, though.
And I also love to watch my grandkids because they love to go to the like the fall festival things and where they have the the different activities and corn mazes and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of like the fall.
Okay, this is Cynthia. I like the fall because it's my birthday, October the 2nd.
Well, happy birthday. So is next week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Yes, happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
We should put together a
And I
birthday
like the
list for
fall
this group.
color too. Yeah.
Right.
I don't like the fall.
That's what it's about too. It's the way.
Rosemary does not like the fall. Why don't
I
you like the fall?
I don't either.
Okay, okay, we covered all the reasons people like the fall. Why do people not like the fall? Start with Rosemary.
I don't like the days getting shorter and things, and and the winter coming, the colder weather. It's kind of weird. Like 80 degrees in the fall is not as warm as 80 degrees in the spring, and all the birds go home, so you can't hear the birds chirping anymore, and the crickets start dying off, and to me it's a time of death.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rosemary.
I prefer the spring because I love to hear the birds start to sing and all the new growth and the leaves popping out and all the little insects start chirping away. To me, it's a rebirth. So that's why I like spring best.
Right.
One reason why I don't like
My
fall.
birthday's in the winter, so that doesn't matter.
Shirley, you were going to talk. You were going to say something. You don't like the fall.
I don't like the fall because to me it's depressing. See everything die, and I don't like the sound of the wind. It sounds lonely.
Mm.
So
So what is your favorite? What is your favorite season?
mine,
Yep.
I think spring and summer. I have two. Spring and summer I like. I don't like the fall or the winter.
Okay. All right. Anybody else would like to share?
This is David. I don't like the fall because of the days being shorter. It gets dark early.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't like when the days get short because I do gardening for a living, and in the summer I can run, I can work 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Kind of a nice middle of the day, don't have to get up too early, But then when the sun starts going down at 5 p.m., that means I have to get up earlier or work less.
Well, it's that or wear a headlight.
Yeah. Why do lawnmowers have headlamps on them?
Right.
So they can see where they're
Who's
going.
mowing in the dark?
Well, that's what my wife does. I tell you what, in the like you, Kathy, you can work a lot longer during the daytime. And so my wife loves to mow the yard. Many times she won't start until later, and she'll be mowing when it's still dark, just because she wants to get it done. But it's like 11 o'clock, you know.
PM?
10 or 11, yeah. I mean, you know, it doesn't get dark till like 10 o'clock, and she'll be
Well,
out.
I used to snow blow the driveway at 2 a.m. That was because I'd get home from ice hockey, have a snack, snow blow the driveway, and then go to bed.
Okay. Well, hey,
Well, I have a reason against winter that it gets darker so soon. We went to our Lions Club doesn't meet during the summer, and I went to the first meeting this fall and had to drive myself, and it was dark when I got out, and I realized I can't drive in the dark at all anymore. And so the early
That's
darkness
scary.
really bugs me.
Yeah. It's
I don't
Yeah,
like
see,
fall
there's-
because the thing I don't like about it, you have to rake all these leaves all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, that too, the
Trying
leaf
to keep 'em cleared up.
Or you track them into your house or apartment.
Yep, that's
Mhm.
what I end up doing too, because they don't clean them out like they should.
Who's they?
The
I don't have
apartment
a they.
complex people. The maintenance dudes.
yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that, you know, it's like there's things we love and things we hate about each season, I think, you know.
Mhm.
Yes.
We just can't be satisfied, can we?
No.
I'm glad I live in a place where there is a season change. I think I would be pretty bored if I lived somewhere where you didn't really have seasonal changes. But,
I just think it'd be odd to live like in Australia where your seasons are backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark in the daytime and what is it, light at night or something? My cousin
That's
was over
the
there.
Arctic Circle.
No, thank you. I pass on that one.
you can
I
guard,
think
you can
that's
guard
a
for a long time then, Kathy. You can
Yeah.
be up
The
till-
sun sits at like 30 degrees off the horizon or something.
Yeah, I think that's the last, right?
I went fishing in Alaska one time, and we left to go fishing, a 3.5 hour drive at 7 o'clock at night. We arrived at midnight, and we fished until 2 a.m. And then we decided 3 a.m. We decided it was getting a little bit too dark, but it was really only dusk. And then about 2 hours later, the sun started coming up again. So it was kind of like it was like you never went to bed.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And your body didn't think it was tired either. That was the biggest, strangest thing.
Well,
This
it's
is
strange.
Phyllis.
I know they're supposed to have the International Lions Convention Australia next year, and there'll be winter there.
Yeah.
Winter in
Yeah, but how
July. How
cold is
weird.
winter?
Pardon?
How cold is their winter?
Well, when we were checking temperatures, it was like 33 degrees in July.
Brr.
That's what we said.
This is why Lisa, my cousin moved there for a year for work. She said it was the worst year of her life, living in Alaska. Like y'all said, it got dark. She was like, she couldn't get her days and nights together.
Yeah.
She left
Yeah,
that job.
Alaska
She
would
told-
take a lot of adjustment because most of the time it's dark.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
nowadays
Yep,
you got
that's-
people who work from home in dark rooms. They
This is Phyllis. When I was living in the Philippines, even though I love the fall, I love the Philippines because it's always the same temperature all year around. But the problem was I missed the seasons. I didn't miss winter, but I missed the fall.
yeah.
I don't think I would want to live nowhere like that because what happens to Chris, like California, it don't. Christmas supposed to have snow. There's no snow. I don't want to be like Christmas.
Well, in
The
Hawaii,
original Christmas didn't have snow.
and in Hawaii for Christmas, you know what they do? They have Santa arrive on a surfboard.
There you go.
Everybody makes adjustments.
Oh yeah.
He wears a lei and he arrives on shore on a surfboard.
I would love to see that.
So summer camp. So since we met last, summer camp happened in mid-August, And I know some of you went to that, and of course, Rosemarie is sort of in charge of that. She and Jack. So what about it? How about let's have a little bit of a review about summer camp and anybody's impressions that went. So Rosemarie,
well, if you want me to share, I'll just share that our Detroit group ended up coming late because they had transportation issues in Detroit. Apparently their driver had to change drivers and they had some kind of computer issue and they couldn't release the vehicle until the computer system came up. So they didn't arrive up at camp till about 10:30 at night, but they were accommodated. We fed them and, got everybody settled. But, other than that, most everything went fairly well, I think. We had a few glitches with some of the crafts that didn't have enough craft items, but we didn't really know how many people to expect for sure that they would be interested in those particular items. So we worked everything out, and I think overall people had a good time.
I'm glad to hear those items were popular.
Well, yeah, they were more popular than what we expected. Because what we did is we had these little bags that were like, you can kind of hang around your neck or around your waist or whatever, like a fanny pack, and you could decorate them. And I think they were denim, but anyway, I didn't know how many people would like those, so we didn't get as we only got like a dozen, and we probably could have made 2 dozen and everybody would have had one.
How many people
Gwen
attended
has her
camp?
hand up. Where's she?
Hey, Rosemary. I gave Kathy my new address because I had planned on coming to summer camp this past summer, but I kind of got busy moving into my new house.
Okay.
So, the goal is for me for next summer. Wish me luck.
All right. And Roger, you asked the question. I didn't quite catch it.
Oh, how many people attended?
Lower hand.
I'm gonna guess and say maybe 20.
Okay.
19. Thank you.
That's a good number.
Well, better than 9 that we had the year before. So, but I know we had 11 people come from Detroit for sure, and then we had several, of our local people come. So,
right. Okay. Great. Carrie's got her hand up.
Hi. I'm unofficially the leader of the Detroit group. Like Rosemarie said, the computer at the rental place, the computers went down. So we were not able to get the vehicle until like 5. But we got on the road, we got there, we were treated very nicely. I truly enjoyed the hike through the woods. I did get a bullseye that year in August, and I'm really, really proud of that. And we shared a cabin, and we didn't have any problems whatsoever. So I'm telling you guys, y'all should go. It was really wonderful. It was my first time there, and I truly enjoyed and Rosemarie was just the greatest. She sat with me at the table because she knew it was my first time and told me all the little things that I didn't know. So thank you again, Rosemarie, and I had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad, Carrie. Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, I think I was on the phone with you guys at some point during that day while you were trying to get to camp. I think maybe, I know it was the address of the camp. There were some issues trying to figure out where it was, but I also don't think you'd left yet. So anyway, seems like there's always something, but at least you guys got there this year. So that was great.
This is Walita. I don't know how to raise my hand. How do you raise your hand?
Star
9. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Raj.
Tell Gina. I don't know if it'll work when you're on a patch in. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Walita.
All right. Well, I want to say this is my first time. It was my first time going to winter camp, and this is my first time coming to summer camp. So in my whole life, so I enjoy myself so much. I enjoy the outfit. I want to go and shoot some bow and arrows so bad. I've even called to check it out to find out where we can go since I've been home. I enjoyed that so much. That was the best time for me. And also, it was my very first time on a boat. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went on the boat for the first time. So I enjoyed it. I was still a little scared, but I did enjoy it. And the food was good. I just have to say everything was really good. I had the nature walk was a little tiresome, but it was good. And everything was beautiful. That's all I can say. I had a really good time, and I will be back next year.
Thank you, Melina.
You're welcome.
This is Gina. Yeah, I agree with what Carrie and Juanita said. It was my first time as well. And the bow and arrow, that's all I wanted to do. The archery. But, you know, the pontoon boat, that was great. I even fell asleep. It was just really relaxing, sitting around the fire the last night, and just the camaraderie in our cabin was really good. So just had a really good time.
Yep. It was really wonderful. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm still here.
Okay. We got quiet.
That's unusual. So was somebody going to say something?
No, I think we were waiting
Well,
for the next camper to chime in.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Cynthia went. How'd you like it, Cynthia?
Yeah, it was nice. This is my second time going, and it's so relaxing. I enjoyed the boat rides and the arts and crafts, and just learning a new place. It was very relaxing.
Nice.
So you didn't have a torrential rainstorm like you did last year, right?
No. Fortunately, we didn't have that many campers either, so that was okay. But yeah, we had terrible rain last year, but not this year. We had no rain. And the hike that Carl took us through this time was a little different than the ones he's done in the past. So it was interesting because he showed us some courses that they use on Camp Luan, and he actually took us to the amphitheater that overlooks the water. We haven't been to that one in a while. When we first did camp years ago, we used to go up there and do the talent show, but it was too much, hiking up there. So we decided not to do that any longer. We do it down in the lodge when we're able to. So
do you guys have a talent show?
We didn't have one this year because Tyrone didn't really have his equipment, and we just said, okay, let it go for this time. We'll do something different. So we just gathered by the fire, and everybody, had music and had a good time.
Nice.
We had some good new volunteers that helped us this year too, and they were excited to be there as well.
Yeah, we had a good time with the volunteers. They were very helpful, and they really was helpful. They helped us out a lot, and it was good.
So Rosemarie, where did your volunteers come from? Just different people that came?
Actually, a couple people from my church, pastor and his wife, and one of the ladies who usually comes each year, Lori, she likes to come. And then I had a gentleman that was a veteran that I knew, and he was looking for something to do. And so Will came up, and he was excited to come up and help out. And then there was a couple that Jack knew, and Debbie and Al, and they came up and they had a great time. So, we just get them from people we know pretty much, because it's hard to get volunteers otherwise, And of course, our usual lines like Dale and Ernie, and a lot of the guys from our club can, who are able, because now we have so many guys that are older. We lost another one of our members, and so we just trucking along.
Our driver stayed too.
Say again?
You hear me, Roger? Our driver stayed also.
Your driver stayed.
Oh, the driver stayed. Good.
Oh yeah. What was her name? I forgot. Latrice, yeah, and she was a sweetie. She helped too. And anybody else who wanted to bring a volunteer with them, we were more than happy to have them.
Nice.
No, any more on
This
something?
Carrie Bradley. I do want to say that the volunteer that we had in our cabin, when we first, she introduced herself. I forgot her name, and we were trying to get ourselves together and everything. And she said, "Oh no, you don't have to. You can have this bed." She let us pick our beds out, even though she was settled. She was willing to move. She helped us with the electric plug. Gave us, showed us where the walkway was, and she just was so nice. She really was so nice. She even sat up one night and just talked with us. We just was just talking, and she was.
That was Lori.
She was in our conversation. Yeah, Lori, that's her name. She was in the conversation and telling us stuff. Oh, we had a nice time. She sat there. And we just had a really good conversation. Real good conversation.
Yeah, she's she's the lady that's from my church, and when I'm at church, she helps me out all the time too. So she's familiar, and how to help people who are blind, and she's been up at the camp several times for several years. The only bad thing that happened is my one friend Peggy, who brought us up to camp on the way back, her van broke down and found out that the motor's gone, so she had to junk her van.
Oh no.
Well, you make sure you tell Lori that Carrie said hello, and I had a wonderful time with her.
I will tell her that when I see her on Sunday, Carrie.
All right, thank you.
Rosemarie, did Lori come to winter camp one year?
No.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Yes, she
somebody
did.
that came-
Oh, did she one time? Maybe.
Yes, she
I
did.
think she
Yes.
did come once. I don't recall, but yeah.
So this is I don't know, a few years ago, before COVID.
Yeah, it may have been a while back.
We had another person, a lady that came with you guys, and I thought her name was Lori.
Yeah, it could have been Lori.
Don't
I'm
ask her
thinking
questions
of-
like,
You know what he's thinking of Laura Fitzpatrick, Shirley.
no, not Laura. Lori.
Yeah, because Lori came with us.
I think Laura came twice.
Yeah.
Well, and that was when Joan Butts was still around.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if Lori may have come once. I don't remember, but she could have
She
come with
did.
us once.
So it was Laura that came. Okay.
There's a
She
Laura
said
and a
she's
Lori.
Okay.
She said she's coming
That
to
clarification.
camp, but we all gonna meet up again.
But the
Hey,
one
we
gal
have-
who did come with us, she's fighting cancer. So
We have one latecomer. Oh, sorry. You said cancer? That's not good.
yeah, well, she's been fighting cancer for several years now.
Oh,
That's why she doesn't come to camp to help out anymore, because she doesn't have the strength to do that any longer.
it's too bad. Anthony, which Anthony do we have today?
Anthony Ward.
Excellent.
Anthony,
Yeah,
how have you been?
I've been good. What about yourself?
Good. Thanks for joining today.
Where?
Alrighty. So we have a new person with us today, or a new few people. Daniel Rathman, and he was invited by Kashania, and they are hosting I'm assuming he's a student, named Ocean.
Yeah, that's
Ocean.
correct.
Could you tell us a little something about Ocean?
You can speak for yourself. Go ahead, Ojan. Well, so Ojan was an exchange student in high school here in Southern Michigan. And near the end of his year of exchange student, he'd been paired with the IEP and the assistive services. Let's see, Charlene Gordon and Amber Strauss had started helping him out. And he wanted to come back to the U.S. and learn more about all the assistive services. Ojan hadn't used a cane his entire 17 years until he came here. Even though he has, was it LCA? So congenital blindness. So yeah, so my wife and I, Megan, we opened our home so that he could come and do his college years here.
Oh, what
Well,
school?
congratulations, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
What school are you going to?
I'm in Oakland Community College.
Okay.
Um,
What are you
so
studying?
yeah,
125.
I am trying to. I think I'm gonna try to major psychology and O&M, but first 2 years gonna be just typing basics, and then I think I have to transfer into the school, but we have not decided where it will be.
Okay. So have you been up on a tour of Leader Dog yet?
I mean, I've been
remember.
before, but like a tour. It was just like a visit, like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Because you said Oakland, right? That's the community college that's right there, isn't it? Like by Rochester
No,
Hills?
Oakland Community College is like northern Farmington Hills.
Okay.
So he's still got a little bit to go.
Got a little ways in, yeah.
But it's
okay.
not too far up there.
I couldn't remember the name of that college that's right there that we use as training ground.
So Oakland University.
It's Oakland University.
That's Oakland University.
Or
Okay.
no, it's Rochester College. I think.
He's not far from me because where my house is, we're right by the. We're kind of about a hop, skip, and a jump from the community college.
So you're going to the Orchard Ridge campus for Oakland, right? And that's in Farmington Hills.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Farmington Hills.
Well, welcome to our chat today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be hearing the good activities that you have been doing.
So
Do you have
we,
any questions?
Yeah. So
You can pick
So-
our next topic. What do you want to know?
You want to know the activities in the winter camp?
I think so.
So yeah.
Well,
so
you know, that's on Roger's agenda. What do
Yeah.
you like about winter camp?
So the so Ojan, so the background of this particular call, winter camp has been going on for over 50 years. It was started in 1969, actually in Battle Creek, by a blind teacher who wanted to get their students out into the outdoors during the wintertime because there typically wasn't a lot going on in the wintertime for the blind and visually impaired. They started this camp, or they started this activity. It was a weekend. Actually, it was like one day, and at the camp where we go, which is called Clear Lake Camp, and it's part of the Battle Creek Public Schools facilities. And so anyway, to make a long story short, the Lions clubs ended up taking over management of the camp, and it became a project of our district, which is basically from Battle Creek to Ann Arbor, and then down to the state line. So essentially, we have it's a winter camp now, and I actually didn't know about summer camp until about 3 years ago, and that's been going on in Rosemarie for what, 11 or 12 years?
It's about 27 years.
27 years. Okay. Wow.
Whoa.
What, like 1995 or something?
Around about there. I'd have to go back in the archives and check, but
Okay.
it's been going. I know that the 25th year would have been during COVID. So
Okay. Wow, that's great. So winter camp, basically, it's a little different than summer camp, obviously, because everything's cold and frozen. But we have a variety of indoor activities and a variety of outdoor activities. So indoor, we play a lot of bingo. We have crafts. We have a devotional time. Let's see what else.
Talent show.
We have a talent show.
We had a concert last year.
We had a concert, which we'll talk about doing that again.
we've done
Food.
card
There's always
playing.
food.
There's always
We
food.
also have done a church service in the past.
Yep. And card playing and sing-alongs. We used to do sing-alongs in the past too, and we had one of the fellows came and play piano all the time.
So it's kind of whatever. And then we have we have a variety of. Oh, we have a technology. That's a kind of a big deal. The
Yeah.
Western Michigan University students come, And these are grad students that are in the usually in the blind and mobility. Let's see, what do you call it?
The OMN,
O&M,
education.
orientation and
mobility,
mobility graduate program, and so they come and they help the campers navigate like different new types of technologies or their phones. You know, how to use the phone, how to if there's new things to use, or if they haven't used something, how to use it.
And they do cane repairs for us
cane
too.
Repair. Yep. That's a big one. And so
people like to just
outdoors,
sit around the coffee area and talk.
They have a really nice lounge area with a fireplace.
Yeah.
An open fireplace, and so somebody usually keeps the fire going most of the weekend, and so that's a place where you can sit around and talk. There is internet service there, so people get on their phones, or their iPads or devices and do things. So it's kind of open, and as
we
people
go up to the bird cabin, Roger.
Well, that's an outdoor.
yeah.
I haven't gotten to that yet, so so anyway, so outdoors, we have one of the big things is the bird cabin hike. So that's a bit of a trek through the snow, usually if there's snow, out to this little cabin where they have it arranged so that they have bird feeders outside the cabin, and they have microphones attached near the bird feeders. So as the birds come in to eat, they can be identified by their chirp, the noise that they make, and then they have guides that will talk about the birds and what kind of birds come there and what kind of birds are typical for the area, that sort of thing.
That sounds like
a nice outing, nice way to get out.
Hold on, Roger. What'd you say, Daniel?
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds like the Bear Lake Camp Nature Center.
The only time I go to Bear Lake Camp is for spring cleanup. And actually, I'm wearing my Bear Lake Camp Polar Plunge shirt right now.
Yeah, they've got a nature center that's got bird feeders and microphones all set up too.
Okay,
nice.
It's a nice activity. We have a hay. We do. Well, I wouldn't call it a hay ride because we don't have a hay, but
wagon ride.
The wagon ride, and hopefully we'll have our horses back again. We had a fellow that has a couple of draft horses that came last year, and we've had people over the years do that. So sometimes it's hard to find somebody that can do that, but the fellow that we had last year was very excited about it, and I got to make sure that he's got that on his calendar so he comes back next year. Let's see, we do we used to do cross country skiing, but the equipment that they have at the camp is not the best. And so last year we did some snowshoeing, and there's a place up the road called Pierce Cedar Creek Institute, and they have a bunch of snowshoes that they let us use. So that's available. We have a guy that comes out in a lot of people call them side-by-sides. It's like it's
a UTV.
UTV.
A utility vehicle.
Vehicle. Right.
That's kind of like a 4-wheeler, but it's a little different.
It's a 4-wheeler with a cab. So
it's like a golf cart.
It's like
you say 4-wheeler, I still picture those old quads.
Right. It's not a quad. It's
more like a golf cart.
Like a golf cart. But anyway, he takes people on rides around the trails at the camp. And so most of the people that have done that have really enjoyed that. They actually do have a climbing wall at the camp. We haven't had anybody express an interest in doing that.
Where's the climbing wall?
Yeah, what's that?
It's as you are driving in. You know where the
that one? Yeah.
Right.
In the winter?
Well, people have done it. People have done it. I mean, they do a lot of camps out there, and so if they have the staff, people could do that. I don't know if they have staff that are used to having blind and visually impaired folks do that, but in my history, we've not done that. But that is an activity that is there.
We've done snowmobiles, Roger, too.
We have done snowmobiles, and if the problem we've had with snowmobiles is there hasn't been enough snow.
Exactly, just like cross-country skiing, not enough snow.
Right. So that's why we started using the quad, the quad type vehicle for rides. And I think that guy will probably come back next year because he really enjoyed it. We don't really have ice fishing because of the climate thing. They're concerned about liability, people falling through the ice into the lake, and we don't want that to happen. So,
but you can go look at the lake.
But you can go out and look at the lake. We have a fire pit where you can have a bonfire. In the past, there's been too many things going on. People had too many things going on to actually do that. So, but that is also a possibility. So that's kind of what happens at winter camp.
It's usually the first weekend of February.
Right. It's this year it'll be February the 2nd through the 4th, I believe, is the dates.
Yeah.
Checking calendar.
It's a Friday. Yep. It's a Friday through Sunday. So campers arrive in the afternoon on Friday and then go home by noon on Sunday. So
gotcha.
It's a pretty packed weekend.
And if you guys want to all come out together, Daniel, you're welcome to attend. And if you do a little volunteering, then you're in for free.
Oh, well, you would have a hard time keeping me from it.
Okay.
Excellent. We have 2 hands up. Roger, are you ready for hands?
Yep. Let's go with hands.
Carrie's been up for a bit.
Where's the microphone?
Okay, Carrie.
Hi. Roger forgot to mention that his lovely wife was our nurse. And I'm so glad she was there because I thought I had COVID, and she gave me a test, and she paid attention and everything, and it was negative. I don't know what it was, but I just, but the nurse is there. She was very, very wonderful, polite. She really was nice. And I hope she's our nurse next year, because she really did a great job, in my opinion. And we do have the Camp King and Queen contest that you didn't mention.
No. So that's the Camp King and Queen is a contest that the campers nominate and vote on somebody to be the Camp King and Queen, and we usually do that on Saturday night at the talent show. And let's see, and we have a raffle as well. So we encourage people to bring a prize, and we'll have a raffle to raffle off those prizes. And we also usually we will also raffle off a camper ship as well. So anybody that is in the raffle has a chance to win a camper ship for the following year. And Shirley was the winner last year, so she gets to come to camp for free this year.
Lower hand.
Remember that, Shirley?
Yep, I do.
Shirley.
Our next hand is Gina.
So Gina, and Carrie, thank you for those kind words. Dorothy will be glad to hear that, and she is planning on coming this year. So probably with
Can we also mention that she got Roger on the dance floor?
Yes. I've got it on video.
We also had our Clear Lake Virtual Lights Club charter event.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a one-off thing that doesn't normally happen, but that was where the Clear Lake Lions had their charter event, which was a very nice affair. So, all right, Gina.
Star 6 to unmute.
Or is this Walita? Star 6.
Maybe they wandered away. Maybe they're running for snacks.
I will tell you that Walita was that was her first year attending last year, and she was part of the talent show, and I would say brought the house down. She is a
Yes,
very
she
good
did.
singer, as are many others in the group. We have a really fun talent show. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I always forget to mention things, and I have to start. I'm going to be talking to some different Lions clubs about winter camp coming up soon, so I need to remember to make notes so I can remember things. But we have the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy kids help us out as volunteers, and for the last couple of times we've used they are called the Job Challenge Academy. And so these are young people who have gone through the Michigan Youth Challenge program and have graduated and decided to stick around in Battle Creek for their first year of college. So many of them go to either finish up a GED or are going to Kellogg Community College. And so these kids are a little more mature and are a wonderful help. They do a great job, and several of them were so impressed and excited about winter camp that they asked to come back as volunteers next year. So I actually need to follow up with a few of those guys to see if they are interested in coming still. You know, life changes pretty quickly for people, and so what they felt then, you know, may not still be the case now, but you know, it was wonderful that they just loved working with everybody, and they had a great time, and usually it's a life-changing event for them. For many of them, it's a life-changing event, and it can set them on a new path, you know, for their life in terms of service and just helping others. So
they had so much fun. They even joined the talent show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Gina, I see you found your unmute button.
Yes, I found it. I didn't know. I didn't know star 6 mute you. Okay, my question to you guys was, we had a lot of problems with summer camp, people wanting to come, but I don't know the rules about the vaccination. So I need to know exactly what to tell them for winter camp. Do they have to be fully vaccinated? Do they have to have a shot record? What? I need to know what to tell these folks.
Well, so I would say probably the same rule. Now, I don't know, Rosemarie, did you have parameters around being fully vaccinated or having been vaccinated at some point or having a test?
What we did is we had, we asked people to submit their vaccination cards. And for those who were not able to be vaccinated because of health issues, we had them do a COVID test and submit that, prior to coming to camp.
So how many days before that would they have to submit it?
I think we said 3.
Okay. So if they're not vaccinated, they need to at least have a test done showing that they're, they don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know now. So I can, and volunteers, you did say volunteers could come. And
yes,
they would
but
be
volunteers also have to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah, just to make that clear, because sometimes people aren't clear. Everybody who comes to camp, volunteer or camper, needs to show proof of vaccination and or a recent, 3-day recent vaccine COVID test.
Now,
until we're out of this COVID stuff, that we're going to continue to do that.
We may never be out of
Because
this.
I know right now there's a new
strain
booster shot that's available for people to take again.
I tell you, it's in everybody's interest to do that if you can, because I will tell you that I've gotten COVID a couple of times, and I haven't had the latest booster, but I didn't even think I was sick, but I had it, so like I thought I had a bad cold, and I had a fever for about 3 hours or something, and I felt kind of bad for about a day. But I was positive for probably 5 or 6 days after that. I tested positive. So it's kind of a fooler, If you've never been vaccinated and you get it, it's not a good thing. You can get pretty sick. I don't think the new strains are quite as bad as the initial ones were, but I've heard of a lot of people that have gotten sick and really have had a pretty bad time. So, it's nothing to play with. And one of the differences now, I don't think you guys required masks, right, Rosemary?
No, we didn't require masks because at the time the amount of COVID in our area was low.
Right. So
and a lot of the businesses and even the doctor's offices were not requiring masking at that point.
So we would probably follow that same protocol for winter camp. Of course, it tends to get worse in the wintertime. But a lot of people choose to wear a mask just for their own protection. So yeah, I see a lot more people wearing masks nowadays than I did, a 3 months ago. So it's a good idea, especially if you are have comorbidities, I guess is what they call it.
Or
if
susceptibility, yeah.
If you're susceptible, or if you get sick, you're gonna have a big problem, like those with bronchial issues, asthma. It's a good idea to wear a mask, but it isn't mandatory, obviously. So
I feel like Roger's describing me.
Well, I have asthma as well, so and I know several people that have asthma that they just don't want to get it. And it's the thing is, there's no guarantee, but if you can do anything you can to make it less less serious, then it's a good idea. So I'm glad that I was vaccinated and didn't really have too much trouble with it. But we had some family members that passed because of COVID. So, and there still are people that are dying because of COVID. So it's nothing to, it's obviously more than a cold, so.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Roger, for that. And thank you also, this is Walita, thank you for the compliment. I couldn't get off mute to say thank you about the tennis stuff. So I really do thank you for that. And I'm going to try to do it again next year.
Well, I want to know what club you're singing in.
It's called Wawa's. It's called Wawa's. But listen, Roger, before I hang up, because I'm going to have to get ready to go shortly, I want to say someone is on the phone. They're very humble, and they don't like to spread their good news, but I'm one of those people who love to spread good news. We have a modeling sensation on the phone.
Oh, yes, we do.
She's into a contest for, I believe it's Big, Beautiful Blind Women, I believe. Am I saying that correct?
Curvaceous. Curvy blind women. It was for curvy blind women.
Would be Miss Gina, and she won. She won. So I just want everybody to give her, let her know that we're proud of her. And me, I just love spreading good news. She's not going to tell. I'm telling everybody.
Well, Walita, thank you for mentioning that.
Appreciate that, Walita.
It was on my mind to bring up that Gina won her contest. And if you're on Facebook at all, you would have seen a lot of her posts. And why don't you talk about that just a minute, Gina? Talk about your experience with that.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Walita. Thanks, Walita. My daughter likes to pair me with blind people she finds on social media. So she sent me someone, and they were making an announcement about a competition for, it was a fashion show for blind men and women. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. But I couldn't commit to that. So the organizer of that program, that fashion show, directed me to the one that I actually competed in. So that was called Curvaceous Modeling Competition. And I just did it for fun because I figured, this is something that is happening within the blind community. Why not? And we had 3 different categories. It was to wear the brand of the company, swimsuit, carnival, and evening wear. And it started out with 6 blind women, and it ended up being just 4 of us at the end. And it was in New York, so that was, all of this was just a brand new experience. But I ended up being the winner. Didn't realize that winning would mean becoming a brand ambassador for both companies, and you know, lots of trips back to New York, and yeah, for a year. So I got a lot of little different accolades and prizes and things of that nature. But yeah, it is a thing. So I guess I'm a model now.
Well, Gina,
Again,
Great.
Hey, Gina, the next time you
Thanks.
go,
Huh?
Gina, next time you go, say hello to my hometown, would you?
New York?
What town is that?
New York.
Okay.
I was
Yeah,
born in
I'll
New-
be going next month. So.
I
Mhm.
was born in New York City,
Ah.
and I was
Okay.
born in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, so I can talk like that when I wanna.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
I try to lose the accent so
it.
that people don't know I live there, but you know how they go.
Well, I'm again to say congratulations.
But that's
wish I
great,
had
Gina.
started
Glad you
again.
did that. That's fun.
How does that affect your
Yeah.
your regular work schedule?
Most of the events are on the weekend. Pretty much
Okay.
all of them have been, so it hasn't affected it at all. Not as of yet. So
Excellent.
What, do they
we'll
pay your
see what
transportation?
happens.
Do they pay your
Nope.
transportation back and forth?
What?
No. No, I just get other stuff. So I guess it's just you know, notoriety. I'm supposed to have a photo shoot coming up. Supposed to do an interview with a news team, I think in Barbados. I don't know.
Whoa.
I just get bits and pieces as they come along. So it is the ambassador part of the fashion showcase is that is conducted by a blind woman that again has models that are men and women, but they are blind or visually impaired. So it happens every year. This will be the 3rd year coming. And yeah, and then so because she won the same competition that I won, she was able to branch off and start her fashion showcase. So
That's good.
So,
Real good.
pretty
it's
exciting.
an interesting story. It is. It is.
Well, it'll
For
be
a
fun
shy
to follow
woman
your
like me.
journey.
I'm shy, so I'm trying to get out of that, but you know,
Watch out.
this will do it. This will do it.
Well, I was very impressed with the outfits that you had. Those were pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was. I wanted to be different than my normal self, so I chose things that were not of me. I tend to, you know, deal with black and try to stay in the behind the scenes and kind of stuff. So that is why I won 3 trophies, and one of them was a rising star because they didn't even think that I would, you know, do the things that I had did in the competition. They said, well, you were so shy, you didn't talk much, and I didn't really know what to say. So, but yeah, it's a good ride. It's good journey so far. So
I hate to say this, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign off, you guys, because I gotta go attend to my student who should be waking up soon. So I'm gonna sign off.
Okay.
Hi, Gwen.
Gwen,
Bye. I'll
thanks for
catch you
having
guys
Bye.
later.
Hi, Gwen.
Bye, Gwen.
Okay.
So one of the things I'm going to include in the meeting minutes is a link to our YouTube channel and our Facebook group. So anybody who wants to follow more, or I put the videos from last winter's winter camp out there on our YouTube channel. And then once in a while we stick other Lions things, like our spring leadership training for our district. We've been just using the winter camp YouTube to stick a few other district related things out there that you might find interesting. So I'll include a link in the meeting minutes.
And I want to put in a plug, Kashania, I really appreciate your frequent contributions to the Winter Camp Facebook group. She puts a lot of informational things and some inspirational things on there. And I want to thank you for that. So,
You are so welcome. And you're welcome. Real quick, I wanted to make an announcement if I could.
Sure, go ahead.
On Friday the 29th, the agency will be having a health fair, and it's going to be from 10 to 2. It's absolutely free. If you want to come, stop by, get vaccinations, and see other vendors that's going to be there, I'm inviting everybody to come out. The agency's address is 26777 Central Park Boulevard. It's located in Southfield, Michigan, and the suite is 150. So if anybody want to come by the agency, Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired, everybody's welcome to come by the agency for that health fair.
And what are the hours for that, Kashania?
It's going to run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And that's the 29th of September.
Okay. Yep. It's a Friday.
All right. And I've been to the agency. I went to their open house when they first started up, and it's a very nice facility. And it was an interesting journey to get there for me. I'd never been to that part of Detroit before, and so it's a nice place. So hopefully people are taking advantage of that. That service that they offer, or the many services that they offer, and Kashania is one of their. What is your position with them, Kashania?
I do the outreach there. I'm the outreach engagement specialist there. I do a lot of the outreach programs, and I do the activities over at the agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So if you're looking for something to do or need a service, those are the guys to talk with. And it's a
Shania, do you have that posted to our Facebook page?
Yes, I have it posted on the agency's Facebook page.
Then share to the Winter Camp Facebook?
I will.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind. And Miss Lillian, I don't know if she's around or not, but she's part of that. That's how I met her, was through those conversations about winter camp and transportation and those sorts of things. And so Lillian has a small business, and she has a couple of different products that she sells. One of them is a Braille cube. It's a little device that can help you learn Braille. And she also has a little cane bag, I think is what it is, that she sells. So we'll probably have a couple of those things at winter camp this year, so people can take a look. I don't know if she'll take it to winter camp, but she's always welcome.
Well, Lillian's still on the line, but she might not know how to unmute herself. *6, Lillian, if you want to jump in.
She said she had some other things going on, so maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
There she comes.
Yeah, okay, I'm unmuted, Roger.
Yeah.
No, this is my first time sitting in, and it's so interesting. I mean, God, you guys have a lot of stuff going on. You really do. But I was glad to. I got the number from Gina and dial right in, and gosh, you guys, you're doing good. And that's coming from Detroit, and we don't play.
Well, we appreciate it, Lillian.
No, but that's good. No,
Lillian
that's
is
good.
she's a delightful human being. I've enjoyed knowing her, and I met her at the agency the day I went over there, and she's a little I'm going to call her a firecracker.
Okay, I can do that. But I'm very glad to have. I'll see if I can get in again next time. But no, very interesting. Never a dull moment.
Yep.
No, you got some heavy hitters on that line too, because
We
I
have
know them.
We have a good group. Pauline, she's pretty involved in activities
yeah,
in
yeah.
Detroit. So,
Hey,
Yeah.
Lillian, can we get your contact information?
Sure. You have the phone number, or you want my email?
Start with phone
or-
number. I can't see the phone number. Once I rename you, it's gone.
Okay. Okay, 313
Uh-huh.
587-7866.
Okay. Do you do email?
Sure. Lucky Lillian, LuckyLillian, Lillian at att.net.
Excellent. And
No problem.
thanks. And Daniel, can we add you to our group list?
Yeah, you can add me. Ojan, do you want to be on the list?
Or,
Sure.
yeah, both of you, whichever.
All right. Why don't you give them your email address?
Well, it's gonna be complicated. Okay,
Well,
it's
or I could give you mine, and then you can just send it to me.
Okay. That'll work.
So CATHYKONING at yahoo.com.
I got CATHY.
KONING
Yeah.
at Yahoo. Since 1994, 3, something like that.
All right. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So does anybody else have anything that, well, I'm going to just tell you that I'll be sending out applications for winter camp probably toward the end of October, early November. We used to send out so if any of you have address changes, that's very helpful to know. We got Gwen's new address. Maybe reaching out individually, maybe by text, because usually the numbers don't change, but the addresses do sometimes. And so it's people call and say, "Hey, I didn't get my application," and then I find out their address has changed. So it's really important especially if you have other folks that you're connected with, if they've changed their address, to let me know. And I think most of you know how to get a hold of me, but my cell phone is 269-578-3684. And my address is very simple. It's ROGERBOSSE@att.net. And we'll put that in the chat.
Raise hand.
I'll put it in the notes when I send them out.
Don't use his telephone today.
Don't use my
Yeah, it'll
telephone
queue
today.
up for him, though. He'll get it when he gets his new phone.
Right.
Your
Today.
last four.
Say again?
3684.
Can we get your last four digits? There was a loud sound.
Okay, it's the last four digits is 3684.
One more
Hang on,
time.
I'm going to mute Wayne here for a second. Okay, go ahead and say it one more time.
Okay, the full number is 269-578-3684.
Thank you.
We get it that time? Okay.
I muted the coffers. So
Carrie has her hand up.
Carrie, you got on mute. There we go.
Okay. Hi, Roger. Is it possible for you to send me like some extra applications, because there's some people that were inquiring to me about going, and I want to be able to just give them an application.
Sure. How many would you like?
Okay. Why don't you just send me 4 extra applications?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? I would like to wrap up by 2:30 if we can.
Okay.
I would need some of them applications too, Roger.
Okay, Walita.
Yes, sir. I got a few people want to come. Let me see. Is there a limit?
Yes,
You ever tried meatloaf?
we could handle about 35. I mean, I would say 35 is probably the limit on each, like for each dorm. So 35, usually we have more women than men.
I'll take some meatloaf
And
and
so,
mashed
like,
potatoes.
I think we can handle up to about 35, or if we really packed them in, 36.
Maybe some black.
So
36 altogether. That's including the men and the women, right?
No, 36 men, 36 women.
there's two, there's two dorms, and so there's a men's dorm and a women's dorm, and the and then we have additional spaces for volunteers, but usually 35 is about the max, I believe, in terms of, and the issue is lower bunks. So each, I mean, there's more capacity in the cabins, but they're like bunk beds. So there's a top bunk and a bottom bunk.
Yeah.
And a lot of people prefer a bottom bunk, but there are a few, like Rosemary and Shirley, that actually prefer the top bunk. So if people are willing to take a top bunk, then that can add capacity.
In theory, but usually people take the entire bunk. One is for their stuff and one is for their body.
Right. So whether they're on the top bunk, they might use the bottom bunk for their stuff. So that's kind of what it boils down to. But you know, I mean, at one point in time they had, I mean, this wasn't all in the bunk in the dorms, but they had like 120 people at one time at camp. And at that point in time, they had people sleeping in the lodge on the floor because there just wasn't enough room. There weren't enough beds, quite honestly, for everybody to sleep in. So they had people on the floor in sleeping bags, etc. And for those of you who are new, there is bedding. There's a mattress on the bunks, and they provide we can provide a kit, a linen kit that includes sheets, pillowcases, and towels. And then we also have blankets, and then there's a blanket as well. We do pay for that. So it's like $9 a person that we pay that. And but we've been able to absorb that pretty much. But there is a cost to that. There are people that bring sleeping bags. And if you bring a sleeping bag, we ask you to mark it well, because we had a mix-up last year. We had somebody got the wrong sleeping bag, and so that ended up being a thing that we had to deal with. I had a trip to Grand Rapids and a trip to Detroit to make the exchange and get the right sleeping bag to the right people. So please make sure that you have it marked well. And we'll have things in the application that talk about what to bring and that sort of thing. But those are just a couple of little things.
And what do we charge the total cost?
Well, the cost still is, we're going to keep it at $45 for the campers and sighted guides that may come. If somebody just wants to volunteer, then we don't charge them. But if somebody is coming as a sighted guide, then they get to pay the $45 as well, because their food is quite. They've changed the vendor for the food, and so the food was a fair bit more expensive this last year than it was this year.
The cost of food has gone up even more this year at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
if we can keep it at 45, we will. But if it looks like, for whatever reason, we're about to have our parade of checks this next month, which is when the clubs in the district contribute towards projects. and we hope that we get a good return from clubs, because the cost, what the campers pay is about a third of what it costs to have the camp. So so the rest of it is subsidized by either grants that we get from foundations or individuals, and then the clubs that are in our district. So that's where the money comes from, as well as whatever the campers pay. And so if we could break even on all that, it would be great. But typically, it costs a little more than what we collect. So during COVID, we didn't spend a lot of money, so we built up some excess funds. But it's kind of like your church. You know, when your church was really going strong, they built up a lot of money. But now that you don't have as many parishioners contributing, there's not as much money, so you're kind of living on the foundation or the endowment. So you know, so we always have to be cognizant of what the costs are, and I'm sure that summer camp is the same way. So, but anyway, we're going to try to keep it at 45, and we'll you know, make sure that it happens. So,
Roger,
yes,
for summer camp, we have the Muskegon Foundation. It helps us out quite a bit. And of course, Pioneer Trails Camp isn't quite as expensive as you guys do. So, you know, so we have pretty good subsidy, you know, along with, you know, whatever we get as the Lions Club as well. So
might have to see how you apply for that grant from your Muskegon Foundation.
well, actually, it's part of an endowment that was left to us, so to speak. You
I
can talk to Jack, he may know more about that.
Okay.
I think he was kidding because he knows that his camp isn't. He knows the winter camp isn't in Muskegon, but he's going to try for Muskegon money.
Well, no, I would no. We have foundations. We have foundations here.
Maybe Lions of Michigan Foundation.
He could try, not necessarily to get anything, but
No, I wouldn't expect to get anything from. No, I was just interested in the process.
Yeah, but talk to Jack because he knows more about that. He's involved with that. Him and Carl work that out together each year.
Okay. All right. Okay. All righty. But like I say, we're excited about having camp again this year, and we hope that
I just did that one.
We had 35. So last year we had 35 campers, and the year before COVID, we had like 56. So that was probably the high point that we'd had for a few years. So you know, it'd be great to get back up to 50. I think the mask requirement was what kind of kept some folks away. But also it was after COVID and still a lot of people concerned about getting sick. And so I think that may have impacted it. But whether we have 20 or 50, you know, we'll still have a good time. So anyway.
The one thing I wanted to share too, Roger, is that Tyrone had taken the FlixBus to Muskegon for camp. And that worked out really well for him. Andrea's going to take it, but then she got to, I guess they gave her the wrong location to get on, so she missed it. But her parents got her there. But the thing is that, you know, the new FlixBus seems to be okay, you know. So it's going from 2 places in Detroit, Lansing. I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 places in Grand Rapids and in Muskegon.
Right. Now, does it come to Battle Creek? I don't know.
Nope. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to check, but as far as I know, it's those are the 4 stops that it makes cross state, you know, from east to west.
Right.
I'll include a link. I'll include a link to the FlixBus along with the YouTube channel and the Facebook.
Okay.
Many people from Detroit area take the train. But there also is another, and Carrie's been involved with transportation through, I don't know what they call it. I don't know if Carrie's still on. Carrie, what do they call it? What's
I'm still on. They didn't. I don't know the name of his company, but it's Reggie and Latrice, And if anybody's interested, let me know. But I'm gonna start right now trying to get a pricing for them, and hopefully we won't have a computer glitch. It wasn't us. Understand that it was the actual rental car company.
Right.
They were out across the state. Excuse me. They were out across the whole state. They couldn't rent anything to anyone. It wasn't just us.
It's a
That doesn't
complete
happen
power
very
failure.
often. So.
Okay,
Mhm,
so
exactly.
so yes,
exactly.
Carrie has been organizing transportation for a couple of years
Nice.
in Tyrone. So she just needs to know, and we've got time to talk about this. You know, we'll have another call next month. In fact, we need to talk about when that's going to happen in October. So who's got a calendar? I don't have my phone anymore. So what's
I
the
have
third,
a calendar.
what's the
What's
third
the calendar?
Saturday? What's the third Saturday in October?
21.
Well, that's not a good date for us because that's the day of the parade of checks.
Oh, I should probably put that on my calendar. Do you want to do the 14th or the 28th? Anybody have any preferences? Oh, 28th is Kelly's fall party. It's a Halloween party night, so we should go with the 14th.
October 14th. Okay.
Unless we want to skip October and go straight to November, but
The 14th, fine.
I'm okay with the 14th.
It would be at the same times, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Same number, same.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Oh,
Because
okay,
the 18th is the Michigan Council State Convention too, so that wouldn't work for us either.
But that's not a Saturday.
Or 19th or whatever the Saturday is for that. Yeah.
21. It goes 14, 21,
21st.
28. Yeah. So fall conference, I got to put that on my calendar. I mean, I've got my checkbook here to write my
Is it
checks.
19,
I just
20, I don't know.
So the
So y'all think it's gonna be the 14th?
14th works.
October
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So
So Krishana has an event that day, so I want to make sure I'm available at that time.
okay.
Next, October 14. Okay.
In a few weeks. So
Now I'm supposed to have river cleanup that day. So Roger will be solo. Somebody else will have to play Kathy.
Okay.
I have a church Zoom meeting that day too, but I can work it out, I think.
We'll probably get rained out anyway. Usually our October river cleanup day gets rained out.
What's the
Yes.
is there a what's the weekend after the
14, 21, 28, which makes it Halloween weekend.
28th is Halloween?
Well, on the 28th, we couldn't do maybe a little earlier meeting.
Well, I'm going to
So
be
y'all can make it to the party.
I'm going to be late. I'm going to be laid up.
28th is on a Friday, so the 29th is on a Saturday.
You're looking
Isn't
at
it?
this year's
No,
October?
28th.
October, yeah.
Of this year.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah,
that
the
Saturdays
20
though.
No,
Look at
no, the 28th is a Saturday because October starts on a
Is it?
Sunday.
Let me make sure. Let me make
Yes, it
29th
does.
is on a Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, okay, right. It's on a Sunday, right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Don't
go
mind
with
me, it's Miss Ward, so don't mind me.
We'll go
That's
with
You're
the
right, on a
14th.
Saturday, you're right.
We'll go with the 14th. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
The 14th
I'll
is
be
on
able
a
to
Saturday.
appear for the second month in a row.
Woo!
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
So I'm getting my knee replaced on the 23rd of October. So
For real this time?
For real?
well, so far, keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
This will be the third time, the third try. So,
Third is charm.
They say the third
Isolate
time is a
yourself.
charm.
by the way, my wife got her knee replaced a month ago, and she's like throwing the cane away and doing all of her normal things.
Mm.
Okay.
She's had a crazy fast recovery. So
Good for her.
Which is
well, one of the
which is-
guys at church, he
Oh.
had his done. He had a really quick recovery too. So
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. I hope I hope not. I had a cousin that had his done, and he had a terrible time with it, or he's had a terrible terrible time with it. His legs swelled up, and he got all these big blisters. And
Probably wasn't following directions. That's all.
yeah, I don't know. Well, that's probably true too. But
Okay.
yeah, it was just one of those things. You know, not everybody reacts. He can't take pain medicine. Pain medicine makes him, you know, sick, sleepy, and you know he didn't want that.
All right, guys, I gotta run. Somebody's knocking at my door. I'll see you all on the 14th. This is
All right,
Carrie
Carrie.
Bradley. I'm out.
All right,
Okay,
Carrie,
bye-bye,
I'll
Rick,
tell
Carrie.
Lori hi for you.
Yep, let's wrap this up
Right.
and
Okay.
go enjoy the sunshine.
Yep, exactly. And I'll get my new phone.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see everybody
All right,
later.
everybody. Thanks.
All right,
Blessings
bye.
to all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see.
Hang up.
Record.